I've posted over 300 videos, and ironically in today's video, I'm actually going to give you 10 of my biggest lessons. I've currently got 308 videos on Instagram. I actually moved some over to Reels, and when you take it off your feed and move it to Reels, it disappears a post. So I'm probably well over 400 if you include Instagram, TikTok, because some videos go on TikTok and don't go on Instagram, and then YouTube as well. So I'm probably well over 400, but 300 is the safe zone. And over that time, over 300, 400 videos and over 4 years, I've actually got 10 lessons that I don't think a lot of people even talk about. And I don't want to give the generic, lessons that they typically give to you in these YouTube videos. But let's just go straight into number one. And that is to never delete a video. And that's my drawing of a bin and you basically in a video, and your video is basically going in the bin. Lesson number one, never flipping delete a video. And I've had this happen to me, not when I first started, but after a few years in, I was getting some traction, and then I'll post a video and it would flop, like dead flop. I'll be like, oh, let me delete that. But I thought, oh, hell no, I'm not gonna delete it. And after a few weeks, that video starts popping. I remember one in particular, I experimented, I tried something new, I was extra fancy with the hook, and the video did about 3K views on Instagram. I know some of you might be like, 3K is a lot for some of, like, depending on the following, but it did 3K views in about a week. I was like, okay, I've moved on already. 2 weeks later, that video was on 1 million views. Like, if I deleted that video, I would have never seen that video get 1 million views. So just give the algorithm some time to actually catch up with your video. And I've got another funny story about never deleting your video. When I first started creating content on TikTok and I was going into the tech niche, I was actually scared. So I created a whole new account. Even though I named it after myself, I created a whole new account and I posted my first tech video. It was about the iPhone 14. It was about the iPhone 14 and iPhone 14 Plus. And I made it, I posted it, and after like 10 hours, it got 200 views. I was like, damn, I put a lot of effort into this video. And again, I went on to learn that effort doesn't mean that you'll get results, but that's not even a lesson for this video. But I posted that video and then I thought, yeah, that's a dead flop. I ignore it for a week. I come back a week later and I shit you not, that video gained me like 6,000 followers on TikTok. It was on 1 point something million views. And the reason I realized it was on views because someone sent me my video. Like I hadn't been back on that account for like over a week. Someone sends me my video and go, oh, you popped up on my For You page, that's sick. I was like, whoa. Went on the account, I saw 5,000 followers, one flipping video. I was like, this is sick. So that's lesson number one, guys and ladies, whatever. Never fucking delete your videos. And my second lesson out of the 10 is to try something new. And the reason I say try something new is because a lot of people see, I don't know, you see your favorite creator doing a style of content and you get inspired to make content, which is not a bad thing. That's great. You go and make the content, but you go and make it exactly like them. And you try to mimic them, but that's not who you are. And that style of content probably doesn't work best with your personality. There's so many different styles of content that you can try and at least experiment with. And I don't mean just try once, try 7 videos with that format style. See if any of them hit. If they do hit, you can double down on it. If it doesn't hit, you can move on to a next format. I mean, the most common one is talking head videos because that is universal. Like you sit down, you talk to the camera, that typically works. Also, when I say try something new, that doesn't just mean, try different formats. But a lot of people are creating for the wrong platform. Maybe it's the short form boom. Everyone thinks that they need to be on short form content, but hey, YouTube's still king. And I would always suggest to a lot of older people, maybe you should be on YouTube. You've got a lot of experience and like short form videos didn't really come into your time, so you don't really fully understand it. You need more time to develop your ideas, and that's what YouTube is for. It's a place where you can actually breathe in your video. Your breaths don't have to be cut out in long form videos, whereas short form videos, it's debatable. Most of the time they do. So I see a lot of people creating short form content when I think maybe they'll be better creating long form content, and they'll find more success doing that. But because they just follow the wave and see what other people are doing and just create on that platform that they see other people creating on, instead of actually thinking, maybe YouTube will be better. Maybe YouTube will be better for me. And the third thing is to start buying new equipment. And I've just put money signs because over the last 4 years, I've probably spent, how much would I say I've spent? So when I first started, I bought the Canon M50, 500, 600 pounds. I sold it and then bought it back. I sold it because I quit and then I bought it back for 500, 600 pounds again. So already I've spent a whole grand. And then this new camera that I bought, which I'm recording on actually, cost 2K for the body, and then the lenses cost like another grand. So that's 3K. My old camera, the body was 500 and the lens is another 400. Let's just call it a grand. So that's 4 grand including both cameras. 1 grand, so that's 5K I've spent on cameras. Oh, I even bought the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, like biggest fucking creator combo there is, and that's another 800 pounds. And yes, you can say, oh, but it's your job now. It is now, but at the time it really wasn't, and it's not something that I should have prioritized. There's other things that I could have bought instead that would have drastically improved my content, such as if I bought better lighting equipment first, if I bought better microphones first. And as you can see, I'm using like a lapel microphone, is that what they call it? And this is the Shure microphone, the SM7B. If I bought that a long time ago, my audio would have been better. If I bought this microphone, my audio would have been better. Like, there's other things that you can buy other than a camera. And plus, a camera has a massive learning curve. So don't feel like you need to buy the latest and greatest equipment. I could have stuck with the Sony ZV-E10, but hey, I wanted to upgrade cameras. That's just probably the tech nerd in me and also the consumer in me. If there's one thing you should be focusing on instead of camera equipment, and if you don't want to focus on gear at all, it's the way you speak, the way you say things, and your camera presence. One thing I learned early on in my journey, and I can't remember who said this in a video, but they were like, if you want to appear more confident on camera, even though you're not, you need to use your hands. When you speak to your friends, you're using your hands. And a lot of the time, my hands ain't even, look at me, bro. I don't even know what I'm doing with my hands, but I'm using my hands and it appears more confident rather than me sitting here with my hands tucked under my legs and then me talking in a very robotic voice. You're probably gonna be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? So improve camera presence. Again, that doesn't mean be someone that you're not. I don't want you to be over exaggerative if you're, again, that doesn't mean being someone that you're not. You don't need to over exaggerate and be super hyper if that's not who you are. I know someone, Ben Kauser, he's probably got the most monotone voice. I love you, bro, even though you don't know me like that. He's got probably the most monotone voice and the least enthusiastic person, but I still like to watch his videos, like, cause that's who he is. I don't need to hear Mr. Beast hype level shit. And even Mr. Beast said himself, he's even toned it down because he thought that's who he needed to be, but that's not who he is. Oh, and by the way, if you are a creator or online business owner that's looking to build their brand, create better content and generate more leads for their business, there's a link in the description to work with me one-on-one. And there's a group program coming out soon. If you want to be first to know about it, join the waitlist down below. And the fourth one is the 80-20% rule. Now this can be applied when you're editing, even when you're creating the video or scripting the video. 80% of your effort should be at the beginning because the hook is what matters. The intro is what matters. When you're editing the video, focus all your attention or 80% of your attention on the beginning. If they don't get past the beginning, they will not see the rest. So it does not matter what you've put in the rest if you can't get the beginning right. And this is also very important right now as we speak, because we're in an era where you need to be more authentic to basically win on social media. Yeah, edited videos still do well, but you can be authentic and raw to the camera and it can work. The thing is, I always tell people you can script your intro or your hooks because that's what matters. You need to engage people. But after that, feel free to go freestyling or just go off bullet points so you have some sort of structure, but you don't have to script out the full thing. I think it's time to shine. I've been waiting so long. Broski been gone so long. Listen, that's Lil TJ. Lil TJ used to be the GOAT. I don't know, he low-key fell off, but I still fuck with his music. Number 5 is you need to hold on. And by hold on, I technically mean hold your viewer there. Getting them through the intro is just the beginning, but your viewer always needs a reason to stay and watch the video, which is why I always tell all of my clients, you need to implement retention holds into your video. And that could be simple stuff such as As soon as you say your hook in short form videos, you can tell them the last thing in this video is the most important, so stay till the end. Or if you're doing long form videos, and then for long form videos, a great example is my video, is each of these points can drastically change your content, so you need to listen to each one. That's going to make you, well, that's going to give you reason to stay, regardless if you've heard some of these points or not, because potentially the next point you may not have heard, and that could change your whole entire content creation journey. Phrases like that, I call them retention holds, and it gives the viewer a reason to stay. And you know, Mr. Beast does this really well, and I don't see anyone really talk about it, and he does it every single time. You will be halfway through his video and he would basically preview what's coming up. He's like, coming around the corner, or coming up next, or some shit. He'll be like, coming up next, we're gonna have him do this challenge, and you won't believe what happened next. And then he'll carry on with the video. It basically re-hooks you. I just call it retention holds though. And there's different ways to do it in every industry that you're in, but that is something you need to work on. And as you guys can see, number 6, if you guys can even see this, it is a trophy. And by the way, if you're like AJ Association, if you've seen the video where Nero drew a trophy, let me know. Is my trophy better than Nero's? In fact, is my drawing better than Nero's in general? And if it is, put it down in the comments. And if you think mine's better, go comment on Nero's latest video and let him know that AJ can draw better. But anyway, the reason number 6 is a trophy is because you need to find winning ideas. You need to validate your ideas as soon as possible. And there's 3 ways to come up with ideas. You consciously think of ideas on your own. You unconsciously just get ideas that come to you, or you consciously look for ideas or inspiration from other creators or articles or anything online. And that is the way you can validate them. It's the 3rd one. If you think of an idea unconsciously or consciously, you can scour the internet, whether that's YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and look for that idea that you have in another creator. Maybe you can search for it. Maybe you have similar creators in the niche that you're in. And then you can see if they've created that video. If they've created that video or someone's tweeted about it and it's got a lot of engagement, a lot of likes, you know that's a good idea, and it's a topic or concept that people want to know about or hear about. So when you make your video about it, it will give you a sense of reassurance that you're making a good video. Well, I can't say you're making a good video because you still can make a trash hook and all of that stuff and the video won't get views. But I'm sure if you make a decent enough hook, you will get some sort of traction on that video if the idea is validated. And depending on how big your audience is, if you have like a community of people, you can literally straight up ask them, would they be interested in a video like this? Or what videos are you interested in? And then you can make videos on those topics. But that's once you get a bit of traction and a bit of motion. And number 7 is to lean into your personality. I hope you guys can see that. He's basically leaning. That's the ground and that's him leaning. So lean into your personality. The reason I say that is no matter what niche or industry you create content in, there are a bunch of other creators doing the exact same thing. So you need to give the viewers, your audience, a reason they should listen to you instead of them. And one of the easiest ways of doing that is adding your own personality into it. If you're funny, crack a few jokes. If you're a poet, say some poems. If you can draw, maybe you should pick up a whiteboard, or maybe you should draw something for each video. If you got bars, maybe you should start spitting some. Just stop holding yourself back. And the major thing that holds people back in terms of giving their personality into the video is they script their videos. And when you script, you're just like trying to get as much value in there as you can, trying to make sure that you're not wasting any words, and you basically don't add your personality into it, because we don't write how we speak. So when you speak how you write, you sound like a robot. That was kind of a boss though. And one of the best examples I probably could give of this is Alex Hormozi. How many people are in the business niche, the finance niche, the building a business kind of industry? Then he comes in and he locks in on his content and he actually grows. Obviously his value is great, but he also has a story and it has history, and he tells his story, and his story is hella inspiring. And I mean, you need to lean into that, lean into your story, lean into your personality. And if you're sitting here thinking, ah, shit, I ain't got a story, I'm new to this shit, your story can come over time. If you keep posting content and never delete a video, people can go back year after year and see how far you've grown, how much you're growing. So, I mean, if you don't have a story, it's best if you have one, but if you don't, you can still keep going. Just know it might take you longer than other people who actually have a history of doing what they do. A great example of not having a story is when MKBHD started, or Mr. Beast started. They started years ago. They had no traction for a while, and then as time went on, people noticed that one, they were consistent, they've been doing it for ages, and it became part of their story. So they cared more, they tuned in, and obviously they leveled up their videos, so their videos got better and people wanted to watch it. That's part of their story, bro. And number 8, this is probably my worst one so far, is basically create something that people can't copy, or create something that people struggle to copy. That is, maybe you're giving a lesson or giving value, but you're telling your story attached to the value. People can't copy that. Yeah, they can copy the value or the message behind the story, but they can't copy the story. If someone else came and told you they started content 4 years ago when they were 10, 11 years old and it was on YouTube and blah, 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 blah. Now, obviously, that's my story, but someone else can't copy that. And it doesn't always have to be your story. It could be something that you've done. And something that you've done, yes, other people can do something similar, but it won't be the exact same thing. For example, when I helped Neural Knowledge create his videos, I made a video talking about basically our whole journey and how we blew up and destroyed YouTube. That's technically a video only I could make. Of course, other people can make it, but it just won't be the same. Plus, I'm AJ, the guy in the background, so who better to make a video about it than me? Also, a video just like this, I've made over 300 posts here, the 10 biggest lessons. Yeah, someone who has made 700 posts could make it, but it's 700, shit, it's better than mine. If you ain't made 300 posts, you can't make this video, you're a liar. If you made 50 posts, you can make this video, but it's less impactful because it's only 50. You get my point? Same way if you've read a book and someone else hasn't, you can break it down. There's just so many ways you can make your content unique. Number 9, you need to develop an eye for what looks good. And if you can't tell, these are eyes. Obviously, that's the pupils right there. They're the eyelashes. Yeah, sick drawing, I know. You need to develop an eye for what looks good. And when I look back at my previous content, I thought that looked good, but it was terrible. And it's only me looking back now, 4 years later, me realizing those videos looked bad. But because I thought they looked good, I thought, oh, I didn't need to improve anything. And that meant, oh, I thought the algorithm was robbing me. But you just need an honest review and assessment of how your videos actually look. You might think it looks good when it doesn't. So you need external opinion to actually tell you what looks good. And the best external opinion, in my opinion, is obviously the people around you. Maybe someone who doesn't know you so well, and then how the video actually performs itself. Now, obviously, the performance of the video doesn't just depend on the looks. But if it looks good, surely people are going to pay a little bit more attention than if it doesn't look good. And a common thing I keep seeing on my TikTok is I'll scroll on my For You page and I'll come across a video that's got 0 likes, 0 comments, 0 shares. And I'd look at it and I'd be like, who the hell made this? Why would you even make this? This doesn't look good. And I just keep going, as in keep scrolling. And the last one is get help. Now that doesn't mean pay for a program or pay for a course. There's a bunch of free videos on my channel. There's a bunch of free videos on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, but be careful who you listen to. Don't fall into, you know, you need to do this to make the algorithm help your videos, because you can help your videos actually make the algorithm help you. And the reason I say get help is because a lot of us don't know what we don't know. Back then, 4 years ago, you can check on this channel, the framing of my videos were terrible. But I didn't know that because I just didn't know that. I didn't have someone to tell me, hey, you can improve the framing of your videos. Why am I all the way down here in my videos? Why is there so much space? It just doesn't make sense, especially for a talking head video. Imagine if I was down here the whole video, would you watch this? You'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Why is he so slouched? Like posture, body language, hand movements, everything, the way it looks. Like you just don't know what you don't know. So actively look for help, ways to improve your video content, ways to improve your audio content, ways to improve your camera presence, ways to just create better videos. And of course, I do have to do a shameless plug. If you are a creator or an online business owner that's looking to build their personal brand, create better content, generate more leads for their business, there's going to be a link to work with me one-on-one in the description. And there's also a group program coming out, but there's a wait list, so you can join that in the description as well. And I'll reveal everything that I used to help Nero grow, helped all my previous clients grow on Instagram and YouTube, and how I built a community for myself. And if you're watching this far, you're a real G. YouTube is gonna suggest a video somewhere on the screen. I know you wanna click the video, bro, so click the video, bro.